So Michelle, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
What brings you in today?
Just I've had so much stress lately that I just need to vent, I guess.
Okay, so where would you like to begin?
Just, nothing particular, it's just everyday life.
Okay, so why don't you tell me about your day?
Oh, it usually starts around 4:35 in the morning. Gotta get up, get ready. I try to do my own thing, go to the gym. Then by the time I get home, I have to, get ready for work before I get the kids up to get them ready. Then I try to get dinner started and prepared before I go. And then I go on my 8 hours a day of work and come home and, we have homework and then showers and time to get ready for bed. And it's just like the day's over. There's just never seems to be enough hours in a day.
So it seems as if you got a lot on your plate and you have a very early start. Do you have anybody who helps you out around the house?
Well, I have, my husband and adults, but a couple adult children, but, everybody has their own life too. So they try as much as they can. Sometimes it's not as much as I would hope it would be, but, they've got to live their own life too.
So you have a little bit of help, but not much. Have you ever asked them?
Yeah. I'm bothering them.
You're bothering them.
Or they're too busy.
So, how come you think they're reluctant to help out? Do they see you doing it all?
Yeah, I think it's always been that way. Mom took care of everything. It was always understood that whatever they needed was going to be there. So I guess part of that's my fault. And they just go about their own thing because they know in the long run it will get done.
So you said that it's always been done for them?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think they still expect you think they still expect you to do it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. How does it make you feel?
I feel sometimes a lot of times taken for granted.
Okay.
That my life is put on hold because everybody is doing their own thing. And then the little kids try to help as much as they can because they see what's going on and they're like, but Mommy, we can't help you. And I don't expect that from them, but I expect a little bit more from the adults that just doesn't seem to be there sometimes.
You say that the little one sees that. What do you think the little one sees?
My frustration. I think she gets it, like a simple picking up after yourself or, putting something away that seems to be there or wiping a counter down after you make something or you're cooking or you're doing whatever. And to her and to the kids in their mind, it's a simple task. That, well, yeah, why didn't they do it?
So the little one, you said it's a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
She sees you being frustrated.
Oh, yes.
How do you think she picks up on you being frustrated?
My mood. Because it'll get to a point where I'll just start venting and then, everybody else thinks I'm just being nasty or I'm in a bad mood.
Okay. What happened? What are your feelings when you get into these moods, as you said?
Probably sadness, anger, and frustration.
Okay.
Because I don't feel appreciated.
Okay, that is something very rough to face, not feeling appreciated, and sadness and anger. Have you relayed those feelings?
Oh, yeah.
To
Probably not in the greatest ways, because it would probably end up in an argument. But I guess I look at it as we're all adults here. We know how things work. Common sense to me. I guess that's a big factor. It's like you're an adult. Be an adult. You want to be an adult to do things, to go out with your friends or do this or do that. But when it comes to having the responsibilities, we don't want to be an adult.
So you feel frustrated and angry because you don't have the support of your adult children, and they're doing their share around the house. But
Yeah,
they get
and
to
my
do
spouse too.
your spouse. But it sounds like you're saying that they get to go out and do their own thing and don't really care about.
That's how it makes me feel.
That's how it makes you feel.
I wouldn't say that they don't care. It's just they can't be bothered because mom's there. Mom will do it. I got too many other things to do.
Have you asked your adult children to maybe take a day where they could focus on housework so you could have a day off to enjoy yourself?
No, I guess not. Because then it ends up with an argument that, the ones that I could rely on the most are pig-headed, so they would butt heads. So that would just make the situation probably even worse because, one's got one idea, the other one's got one idea, and they're going to do their own thing, and they can't work together.
Okay.
Because both think that they know everything.
So it sounds like you have two very, very stubborn children.
Yeah, in that respect, that's probably one of the only things that is similar about them because they're so different.
Okay. Would that be something of interest for you so you could have like a day off?
I don't know if I'd know what to do with myself.
That's something we can address. What did you enjoy when you were younger?
I was very athletic. Had a lot of friends. I don't have many friends outside of my children's friends anymore because I put them aside. I guess I put my life on hold to take care of my family.
So you made a lot of sacrifices.
Mm-hmm. And they don't see it that way. They don't see it that way.
So being a mother, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. And
And I don't mind it. I wouldn't change it for anything. I just would like that extra hand. I get up at 4:35 sometimes so that I can go to the gym and feel healthy and get healthier and feel better about myself and to look better and to feel better. But I have to do that at 4:30 a.m. because I don't have any other time to do that.
so it's an inconvenience for you, too.
No, I guess not so much as an inconvenience. I've adjusted to it. My feeling is, and I don't know, maybe I've looked at it a different way. I won't, people say, well, if the gym has a daycare, my children come first. I wouldn't put my kid in a daycare to take care of myself, which kind of is silly in a way, I know, but that's just who I am. I came from a very large family, and I didn't get that personal attention from my parents that I want to give my children.
Okay. So you said a lot in there. That you kind of neglected your own self-care.
Oh, yeah.
In order to put your children first. And that stems from your childhood and experiences you had, and you didn't want your children to feel the same way.
Exactly, yeah.
Would you like to talk about that more?
There's really not much to talk about, I guess. It's just something that...
It seems to be a big...
I think the older I get, the more I realize why I am how I am. And it's hard to convey that to people.
Okay. So, your own experiences in your childhood have impacted you a lot.
Yeah. The more I think about it, it wasn't a bad childhood by any means. It just wasn't. I never had the attention of my parents.
And that's something you strive to give.
Oh yeah, I think that is very important for your children because now I don't have a relationship with my mother, and I would hope that when I am in my 70s, like my mother, but my children will still want to come around, and my children will still want to be with me.
Is that a fear that you have?
Oh, no.
Is that okay.
No.
Do you think the actions of your children now impact your beliefs about a relationship in the future?
No. No, I don't really, no, I don't think so. I think it's going to, if anything, it would be the reverse kind of thing, because I know sometimes I can be overbearing. So I would push them away that way. Instead of, I don't want to say neglect, that's not the right word to use, but instead of not having that attention, sometimes I just need to learn to let go a little bit more.
Okay. It's important that you sense this and realize this. Is this something you'd like to work on?
I have within myself. I am working on that, yes.
Okay.
But sometimes I guess my message doesn't get conveyed the right way to my children.
Would you be able to sit down and have a conversation with them and kind of explain this to them?
Yes. I think, yeah.
And do you think they'd be receptive and welcoming?
Probably.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. I know one would for sure. One is very introverted, so I don't know. I think it would work, yeah.
Okay. So just to recap and catch up, you're stressed out about all the duties you've taken on as a mother, and you feel like you have limited support from your children and your spouse, and you feel the burden to take on these roles because of experiences you've had in your life as a child, and you want to continue your relationship with your children and be able to give them all the attention that you didn't receive, as well as continue the relationship for the rest of your life, and hoping that they'd be there to take care of you. And this is why you came in today.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that summary? Something that I may have missed?
Not so much for them to be there to take care of me.
Okay.
Just to be there.
Just to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are things that we could definitely work towards if that's what.
Sure.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Oh, I don't. Just the added stress of my work too. You know, we're just going through a difficult phase at work with being short-handed, and I think that adds to the stress a little bit. That it brings it out a little bit more. Because I hide it at work, I guess. You know, it's becoming a very stressful situation.
With your job?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In what ways?
Well, I work in a very small office. There's only a few people. Actually, right now there's just myself and the office manager, who is the owner's wife, and it's just I feel like a lot of responsibility is put on me. There's nothing, you know, no gratitude for it.
Have you discussed this concern with your office manager?
I wouldn't say so much as discussed it. There have been innuendos that have been said, and just tidbits here and there that have just been talked about, but no discussion at great length.
So
I feel that for as long as I've been there with them, in the situation that the office presents, it's kind of obvious. I don't know.
So you're feeling a lot of pressure in your
Mm-hmm.
in your job,
Mm-hmm.
from